No way. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Three Commoners podcast. We know it's been a while. We're excited to be here. Lots of juicy stuff to talk about. Ugh, can't wait. So, as usual, I have with me Vanessa and Shaman. And
Hello, everybody. What's going on?
First, Vanessa was saying that before we recorded, and
can you
I'm
hear the energy with these two? I don't know what's going on today. Maybe it's I don't know, but
It's
everybody's
a
in a
bit
good mood.
chaotic,
So we
but
thank
we'll
God.
get it
we miss you
together.
all.
Yeah. So yeah,
Do you really
Shaman is
miss
right.
them, Shaman?
You guys.
I miss the chat so
Um,
much.
Okay.
It's been very busy for us commoners in this room, and a lot of life changes, a lot of moves, a lot of new things.
Yes, sir.
And we're thankful for it. So, but we had to pause the
It threw
podcast.
us.
So,
It threw us. Jesus, I can't speak English. Wow, this is how
hey,
long it's been. But it threw us
you're
off
Nigerian, don't
balance a
worry.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But you
it
know
threw us
what?
off
We're
balance a
back.
bit. So, but we're trying to get a grip of it. We're doing so well at the beginning of the year. God said, "Hold
Yeah.
on, let me throw a little spanner in your wrench. I'll be throw a
You
little,
know
whatever that
what?
thing is." And yeah, we just couldn't, keep up. But we're back.
We're
Yeah.
back.
And
We're back
But
like
you know,
it's
we'll do our
99.
best.
But I was thinking about recording this episode. I was actually thinking of the episode we did for the end of the year last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys remember, the mood for that episode was very
Yeah.
somber. So I'm excited to see everybody in a good mood. It just means that I think maybe going into the end of the year and going into next year, it would be better. But anyways, that's just an aside. But today we have a lot of things to discuss with you guys. A lot of, trending topics, a lot of, things to catch up on. What do you want to talk about today? What do you want to start with?
Should we start serious? Should we start with Twitter?
Let's start.
Robodio?
No. Let's start from the world at large. Donald Trump
Okay.
versus Nigeria versus insecurity. Yes, now that's. You know what's funny? You know why I'm saying that? Today I was at church. I went to church with my parents. Yeah, I'm in Nigeria. I moved back to Nigeria, but we'll talk about that at the end. And so I went to church with my parents, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in my church know that my dad is a retired military officer. Typically, if they have like security questions or anything, or they see anything in the news, kind of become like a ritual. They come to him on Sunday and they're like, "Oh, General, we heard this, General, we saw this, da 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 da." So today, this lady comes to my dad. She's so disturbed, and she's like, "Oh, Nigeria has been listed as a country of, is it importance?
Concern, I think.
Something
A country of
concern.
concern, something of
Is
concern.
it particular concern?
Particular concern. God bless you. Has been said as a country of particular concern, and she's so worried. What does that mean for us?" And my dad just burst into laughter, which is very normal for him. Like he laughs when like civilians are like intrigued about what's going on. So he goes on to explain like what it means, and she's like, "Oh, so does that mean that Americans are going to come to our country and take like take over and all of that?" And I was like, no. He was like, even if America wants to attack Nigeria, they're not actually going to put soldiers on the ground here. Like they have ships, on the Gulf of Guinea that they can deploy with like helicopters and not helicopters, fighter jets rather, and with the drone machinery and all of that stuff. They can deploy ships from the Gulf of Guinea without even getting on our actual.
Is that supposed to make them feel better that they can attack us from long distance?
So it was double-sided for me when he was saying it. In one mind, it was like, I was like, okay, that sounds like that kind of can shut down people that are like, oh, American soldiers are coming to Nigeria, right? But in the second, in another thought for me, it was like, America is so advanced that they can be in Gulf of Guinea, because it was like they know where they want to go to, down to the coordinates. So they can be in the Gulf of Guinea and they will send their fighter jets from the Gulf of Guinea to go to those coordinates and bomb anywhere. And it's like, after all, they're not bombing the entire country. They just want to flush out the insurgents, and all of that. And I know that there's been a lot of chatter in the last few weeks about whether America is interested in our oil, whether America is interested in resources, whether America is interested in us as human beings. Different things have just been going around. And for me, particularly when it comes to this genocide / insecurity situation, a lot of people are like, why are you not talking about it more, whatever? I'm just tired of talking about it, if I'm being honest, because it's something that's people from my side of the country have been living through for over a decade. So now that it's getting all this international press and whatever, I'm just like, okay, what next? But what is more disheartening for me with that whole conversation is the politicization of it. Like, it's now being used to score cheap points. So I don't know what cheap points America is trying to score, either internationally or within their country, that Ted Cruz, you know that is a problem when Ted Cruz is galvanizing people to speak about something, like Ted Cruz, I don't know him to be, based on the way I know he does his posts, I don't know him to be a good person, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So when Ted Cruz is,
It is controversial. Yeah.
yeah, he's very controversial, right? Exactly. So when Ted Cruz is galvanizing people and saying, no, we need to get the insurgency, a big genocide of Christians in Nigeria, something like that, I'm like, Ted Cruz. Like, what's so
Yeah.
special about Nigeria all of a sudden that you guys are just so giddy
I
about it?
know.
Like, it's good, but, I kind of have to raise an eyebrow.
I know that I think one sort of argument I've heard is, as people were saying, because we refuse to take in deportees or something like that. That's another reason. And to be honest, there's been a lot of speculation around why this is happening. And I know on the U.S. government side, so Trump has said, "Oh, it's the Christians are being harmed, and they're under threat, genocide, and so on." And I think for me, why I think, Vanessa, like you rightly said, this has actually been happening for at least a decade. What is this, 2025? I think even longer if you really want
Even
to,
that,
like,
as I said, over a decade, yeah.
yeah. And the regions that have been affected, I can imagine that for a long time they felt like nobody was sort of concerned or listening to their cries for help and so on, because honestly, when you hear the stories, communities, villages just gone in like a day. In fact, in a matter of hours, because having like had discussions with people, and some people sort of seem to be on for it because they just feel like it's gone on too long. Too many people have died. I think that, and there are people who just feel like that part of Nigeria has been ignored. So that side of it is quite sad, and I understand why some people feel like, oh yeah, let him, because I've seen some chatter on online, people saying yes, they should come. It's been going on for too long. But at the same time, I think on the other side, people are trying to understand the implications of what that could mean in terms of Nigeria's sovereignty and so on. It's a very interesting situation to be in. And I mean, I'm no politician, so I can't speak to the motivations or whatever, but I think I think what makes me sad is just the reflection of where we are as a country for this to even be a discussion in the first place in terms of insecurity and all of
Exactly.
that. It just makes me really sad.
Yeah.
And just hearing, because I speak to people who are maybe more in touch with what's going on, and just apparently it's an everyday thing or a weekly thing. Some communities are just disappearing. It's a sad thing. I think just the fact that this is even a discussion that is happening is not a good sign. And it makes me unhappy, to be honest. It's not something that I like to think about. We have to, but it's not something that I like to think about. I think just the fact that we've gotten to this point, but people are really dying. So
Oh yeah,
I don't
people
know
are.
how, I don't know where I am. Yeah, I don't know where I am. And I mean, Vanessa, you can speak more to this, because I think uh your community, to be honest, even like Southern Kaduna, there are also sort of issues there around religious tensions, right? And I mean, having lived close to there, I know somebody who is basically family, who she's from that region as well, and she talks about it all the time, and it's honestly really a serious situation. Whether those two are the same in terms of what's happening in the northeast, like Borno and Southern Kaduna, but it's generally like sort of probably what the Trump government will use to say, oh,
I mean,
Christians are
to be
being killed. So
honest, they're all interrelated, right? So
I believe
thing
so.
is,
Yeah.
in some places it's outright, oh, we're killing Christians. In some
Yeah.
places it's under the guise of community clashes that look like farmer herder clashes. In some places, like just for in plateau states rather, for example, it's a thing of
Yeah.
where people are taking over people's land. Do you understand? Like their community, clearing them out of the communities and then taking over the communities and declaring those communities, like, for lack of a better word, Hausa communities. And this is not to say that it's particularly Hausa people that are carrying out the the act or whatever, but it looks different depending on the part of the country that you're in, because now it's eating into parts of Kwara State now. It's already happening in Kwara State. And
Yeah.
it's interesting that we're having this conversation today. Last week also in church was Missions Week for my church, and we had a lot of missionaries come from different parts of northern Nigeria. Like the church focuses heavily on like northern missionaries, and we had a lot of different missionaries come from northern Nigeria to church, and different people were sharing their different stories on how, you know, villages are actually being flushed to the ground. There was this
Raised.
particular guy that said, I don't know if to call them herders, the people that are doing killings. A lot of their families live in a particular place in
Terrorist.
Kwara State. Yeah, terrorists. A lot of their families live in a particular place in what's it called, in Kwara State. His community where he's a missionary was attacked, and they decided to go to that community in Kwara State just to kind of figure out what's going on, like if they can find the gang leader and all of that. And they got to that community in Kwara State, basically. Long story short, anyways, they met people that were related to these terrorists. They didn't find the actual terrorists there, but apparently that's where the family of these terrorists are, right? And listening to that, it then made sense to me that these kind of clashes are now encroaching into Kwara States, if that makes sense, because those people are moving, like I don't know, let's
Yes,
assume
yeah.
they came from let's assume
Yeah,
they came
set
from
up a
like
base.
Borno States. They set up a base in Kwara State. And my question to Nigerians in general is, and to the federal government is, are we going to take this thing serious when it is now finally in Lagos? Because they've gotten
Lagos,
close.
yeah.
Or
They've
Abuja.
gotten to, is it Owo that they killed people? They're in Abuja already. Like, I mean, Kaduna is not far from here. Niger
They've been
State
in
is not far
Abuja
from here.
for
They've been around. Heck, they bombed the United Nations building in the beginning of all of this. Do you understand what I mean?
terrible.
So Abuja is
Yeah.
already part of it. But they are close enough. Is it Owo in Ondo State, everywhere that they went
Yeah,
to
it
that
was a
Christmas
war.
period? Yeah, and they killed people. So are we waiting till it's in a densely populated place like Lagos State and they're offing people before we take it serious? Because if half of your nation is under attack or under threat, right? And based off of political generalizations and just how Nigeria is, right? They claim that northern Nigeria is already half of the country, right? So if half of the country is already, so like let's say like from the River Niger, like northern parts, so that's Kwara State all the way. If that part of the country is already under attack, we have a big problem. I swap
Oh, yeah.
yesterday, I did before yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, Saturday. Yeah. I read a report yesterday that ISWAP attacked a brigade on a journey. They intercepted them on a journey. They were coming from somewhere in north. I think they went to somewhere in Yobe State or whatever. If Nigerian army officers lost their lives.
Jeez.
Officers are dying on a daily basis to safeguard the country. But I also don't think that the people at the center, aka the federal government, and their security advisors and security chiefs are taking this situation that we have very seriously. And that is why when they call them things like is farmer header clashes or they say is bandits, it breaks my heart because only God knows. Yes, it trivializes it, and only God knows how many army, like forget even the communities that are being flushed. Think about the people that their actual job is to protect. How many of them are dying on a daily basis to keep and maintain sanity in this country, but yet the government is sabotaging them either by understaffing them or not giving them the right weaponry that they need, or not even listening to their cries if they tell the government that, hey, listen, this route or this thing that we want to use is not right. It's such a complex situation because everybody suffers at the end of the day. Those people in those communities become displaced in their own country. We have the rise of IDP camps in Nigeria, and we're not a country that is officially at war, but yet people within our country are displaced. And some people can never go back. We all have a mutual friend here, Jonathan. Jonathan can never go back to his village, his father's village. He can't. They've taken it over. He can't go back. So
I didn't
luckily
even
he
know
didn't
that.
live there. Yeah, luckily he didn't live there, right? But like the people that lived there, they are now displaced in their own country. So it's a crisis.
Benue State as well, the communities in Benue
Benue
State
State,
is the area
exactly.
of the
People are
community.
getting displaced in their own communities. And it's a crisis because every time people are displaced, you're impoverishing them. You're impoverishing them because where they had housing, they had a place that they could go and farm. They've lost a source of livelihood. They've lost shelter. So you're impoverishing them, and now you're putting them in a situation where they have to decide: do they go to school or do they put food on the table for their children? Because now there's competition for resources, and we all know what that looks like. Most people are not going to go to school. And when people don't go to school and they've experienced this kind of trauma in their lives, it's very easy for them to be radicalized.
Very easy.
Anybody, very quickly, anybody can say anything to them or do anything to them and they become radicalized. And I don't know if the government understands the magnitude of the war that we should be fighting and how this is going to, it might not look like much in the now, right?
Mhm.
But in 20, 30 years, we're going to have this group of people that feel like the country has failed them. And if anybody comes to talk to them about anything, it could be ISWAP, it could be ISIS, it could be, I don't know, whatever movement it is, they can be radicalized and they live within us. They live amongst us. So I don't know. We need to take it a
I
bit
think you
serious.
are right that we don't. I think the issue is we are not serious people. We are not really serious people. That's the honest truth. Because I feel like maybe low-key, this is a good thing that this is happening. Low-key, I mean, it sounds bad, but like the one thing, let me say Nigerian elders don't like is, oh, don't embarrass me. That's the thing they don't like. Oh,
don't put our shame.
Don't, yes, like, let's keep it in-house. Let's just be looking at each other. But when you have now, it's like, oh, we are being embarrassed. Maybe that embarrassment is what we really, really need. Because this thing has been happening, like you guys, like for decades now. Like maybe now it's a bit more intense. Because I remember my ex then in uni or after uni, her parent, they used to live in like Kaduna. And then during one of all those issues, that's when they left. So this is like way back, I don't know, maybe 2000s or 90s. And we have refused to solve the problem. And we are still like, till today, 20 something years later, the problem has now become escalated. And when this thing now became, see people on Twitter defending, oh, there's no this, is tribal this, is this one, that one. The main thing is there's an insecurity. We're actually at war. That's the problem.
Somebody said there is no insecurity.
There's an insecurity problem.
It's a war problem. We should
say it.
They'll be defending it, saying, "Oh, it's not genocide." What to do?
Somebody said it's not genocide. Are you serious?
Yes. Reno Omokri is actively going, and that's a very funny one because when Buhari was in power, Reno was shouting that there's a Christian genocide, but Reno Omokri is currently actively going around saying that there's no genocide going on in the country.
I don't know what the name they want to call it, whether they want to call it this one, that one.
Whatever you want to call it, the cocoa is that there's an insecurity problem. That's the baseline.
To me, it's war. It's not even, this is the thing that we should be, and I've decided that for whatever reason, we just want to play politics to whichever side. Like you said, Reno is playing politics with it, obviously. Whoever side is in government, we use it to play whatever form of politics they want to play. And it's like, now, people dying is just the statistics. We don't care. And let me speak as from the American point of view on this. Let me defend some of my... I don't want to defend them.
Stop making me laugh.
Let me bring from this side. 4 or 5 years ago, I was going to this like very quiet church. I shouldn't say it that way. But I used to go to this really white church. The type of church where, it's evangelistic. Like when you think about an evangelist, I don't know, whatever. I mean, like all those churches who Trumpers, they care about like abortion, those type of things. For all the flaws about those churches, they're actually quite mission focused. Like they actually do care about like, oh, we're Christian, we're spreading Christian gospel across the world. And every Sunday for like weeks that I used to go to that church, they were always talking about Christians in Nigeria. You would think that Nigeria was Afghanistan, the way they used to talk about it. Like, oh, the Christian in Nigeria, they're always having some reports about, oh, this church, the churches, villagers. So in Nigeria, in the US, there's actually like, it's not their biggest issue, like in terms of evangelicals, but it's a serious issue for a lot of evangelicals in the US.
Some churches are aware, They've been aware.
Many churches are aware, and it's a serious issue. They talk about it all the time. They raise money for like missions to go and like, support people in IDP camps and stuff like that. It's a serious issue for many. It's not, they have many issues they care about, like, oh, we hate woke people, whatever. But it's not maybe the top on their list, but it's for sure there. So much so that I believe that they've always been trying to lobby the government of the day to do something about this. But obviously, again, depends on the government of the day. This is Nigeria. It's a shithole country. Why do they care? So I'm just saying, this is my perspective. It's always been a thing of like, oh, there's been this problem. They've been aware of it. They've tried to do something. Many private citizens trying to do something about it, but there's only so much they can do. Then I think enter all this is my view of it, of what's going on. Enter all this Palestine movement, free Palestine, not free Palestine, which is great. Like, obviously, what's happening in Palestine is crazy, and Gaza, and there should be a lot of attention on it. And then our vice president, when we were in war, went to go to the United Nations. Instead of him to be begging that, oh, come and help us solve a problem or be facing his own problem, he went to go and be attacking the powers that be. Obviously, like, we should spotlight the issues in Gaza and whatnot, but you remove the speck in your own eye or the log of wood in your eye first before you are going to go and touch somebody. So I think when he did that sort of made some news. He was part of the many leaders that spoke about, like, Gaza and all that stuff. But then I think the government here, those type of things, they are in a full revenge mode tour. Like, they are just everything they want to raise down. So when they were like, these idiots, they came here, they were doing free Palestine. Meanwhile, in their own country, they are not really serious people. So they were like, I think that's where this whole, like, Ted Cruz got involved. Like, look at all these Nigerians. So it finally became like a thing that they could use. I personally feel maybe it's just mostly a comms thing for them, but whatever. It finally became an item point they could use to deflect from one of the things they could use to deflect from Gaza. So it's like, oh, these people are talking about Gaza, but in their own country, they are killing Christians. That's kind of like, and then it snowballed from there. Other Republicans started talking about it. Next thing, Trump is tweeting about it. Next thing, Nigeria is something of particular concern. This thing is such an issue. Like, one of my friends is trying to bring his MBA class, a bunch of his MBA class too. They're trying to do, I think, Lagos, Ghana, some other country. And obviously Ghana, no problems. They are going to go and see some...
It's easy breezy. Go see some slave trade and go home.
Go home. Tie some, what do they call that, their rapper and all those things.
I know, right? Some kente and, eat some banku and tilapia and go.
Nigeria questions. Will we have security? Is there security in the country? Oh, this one, Nigeria is something of particular concern. They are writing letters. They are doing this. They are doing that. So, like, and this is happening like months to, like, maybe the biggest tourist season is coming our way.
Yeah.
But in all of this, instead of us to be serious and say, let us try and solve the problem, till today we are still playing politics with it. And I think that's the main issue with this country. Like, we're not serious people. I don't even think I don't see the level we haven't escalated this to the level of seriousness it is. This is a war. It is a war issue. It's not like,
it definitely is.
Some issues, more issues here and there. We're not serious.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead already.
I was just going to say, I also think that I feel like maybe it's just me, right? This is an opinion. I do feel like in Nigeria as well, there is also this culture of, if it's not touching you or your immediate environment, it's almost like it doesn't exist. Which is how this has gotten. Which is how this has gotten so bad, because at a point, it was almost sequestered to specific parts of the country, particularly the Northeast, right? But now it's moving. It's been moving for decades. But because they haven't attacked, maybe, let's say, Lagos, Abuja, the last time was the UN one, which in my opinion should have been enough. But
thank you.
Hey,
thank
I
you.
don't know.
God bless you.
Like the capital,
like, I feel like that was such a catalyst to be like, okay, we need to nip this shit in the bud, right? Like today. Right now.
I think we played politics with it then. We use it to say...
Yeah, because Goodluck Jonathan was calling them fringe elements. They are fringe in the fringes.
Jonathan was playing his own politics. The opposition was playing their politics. We just used it.
Yeah, and I think that feeling of, it's not, and I think that's where a lot of these elites that are speaking, which is a very serious tendency the elites in Nigeria have. They're not touched or affected by a lot of the issues in the country. So there is this thing of just, they don't know, or burying your head in the sand. Outside of even just this current issue, this issue of terrorism and insecurity that we're discussing, there is that thing of very out of touch tone deaf comments that a lot of the elite and the people around them tend to say concerning specific issues in Nigeria. Oh, things are not that bad, things are not that hard, because they're not touched by it, or oh, people are they're complaining too much, things like that. So they've now taken people, they've now like extrapolated that attitude towards this issue with loss of lives. Now that it's getting international attention, that maybe people are sitting up because they're worried about being embarrassed. Embarrassment should not be the motivation to even address it. Because has there been any update on what they plan to do about this? Just
Nothing.
statement.
As far as
Is
I'm
there a
Just
aware.
plan that they put
exactly.
forward? Statement here,
I'm not.
statement
I'm
there,
yet to
statement.
see.
What is the plan going forward? Right. So I think this is the thing, because what is concerning to me is that this thing will go, yeah, but it will talk, cha, talk,
Mhm.
talk, and then that's it, December will come, everybody turns up for December, party, bomb, shake, bomb, and then in January, we move on. Well, that's a
I
bomb
think
on this.
I
Bomb
think
the
that's
curse
like
word.
that's if I were a betting man,
The
I think
bomb
that's
is fine.
Okay.
if I were a betting man, that's where I put my money on.
Yeah. In January, we'll move on until the next bad thing
Until
happens.
the
The
next
Benue
big issue.
thing,
Yeah, and
and
it might
so
not
guess what? The
even be
Benue
an
thing was a big
intentional
thing.
move on.
Nothing even happened.
Yeah, exactly. And it might not even be an intentional move on. Something stupid is going to happen in this country that will just divert our attention.
We're
Like,
already seeing it happening.
yeah, something stupid is just going to happen. It can be this Lagos grocery Calabar highway now. One scandal can just rock that thing now. Like this, everybody will just divert attention. Or I don't know, Tinubu can like to disappear to Paris now for like 3 months. Attention diverted. Like it's just we have so many things going on too. It's like, where do you put your energy? But personally, I think that energy should be put in. I think
This
that
should be
if the
the
country is
number one
safe
issue
and
in the country.
secure, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that if this country is safe and secure, people can actually see road and do what they need to do. Do you understand? People just need, as a
This
citizen of
is the
Nigeria,
first
you should be
role of government.
guaranteed, yes, you should be guaranteed safe, free, and easy movement across your country. I should be able to wake up now like this. It's 5:19. I dare not say that I want to start a journey to Kaduna at this time of the day. I
Don't
dare
try
not
it.
say it. But in a country that is sane, in a country that functions, in a country that works, if somebody calls me at 6 p.m. and says, I have a job for you in Kaduna for 9 p.m., I should be able to get on the road at 6 p.m. at night to make it to Kaduna for that job at 9 p.m. There's also a lot of
Or
economic loss
the
that comes
train.
from this thing. Or whatever it, even the train, if they allow
Even
you
the
to enter
train
train at
says
Remember
6
they
they
will
o'clock,
had
you
attack
enter.
they attacked the train.
Yeah, they attack the train. You enter, you won't enter at 6 o'clock, because it's not safe. I should be able to say, oh, I have a job that I need to go and do in Kaduna this night and I can go for it. But no, the country is not safe. So economic movement is only allowed during the daytime. You cannot do anything that is economic wise, or say you want to do some economic stuff at night or whatever. And there's money to be made at night. Money does not stop being made, but you can't do that. You're stranded. Even within Abuja as a city on its own self, there's a security problem in Abuja. I don't like being out at night in Abuja. I don't like it. I don't stop at traffic lights. I look left, I look right. No oncoming car. I drive. I don't stop at traffic lights. There are barely any street lights on the road. So there's a security problem in Abuja. People are getting stabbed in Abuja. And now all these displaced people, Almajiris, whatever you want to call them, they're coming to Abuja. You're driving on a major road in Wuse 2. Before you even stop at the traffic light during the day, all these little children have come. They want to, that thing they used to do in Lagos where they wash your
Windows and windshield.
windows and windscreen or windshield and all of that. They're doing it now in Abuja. It's such a foreign thing to Abuja. When I moved, when I used to come to Abuja in the early 2000s, that did not exist. There were no beggars on the road, but now they are there. They're everywhere. You go to the mosque around 1 o'clock and you see them. They pack themselves. All these internally displaced people. These are security risks that are waiting to happen. But what do I know? I'm
We're
just a
going to
And then
common.
even just
okay,
and
you had
even
it right. We'll move on from this, unfortunately.
yeah, and even just the movement of like goods and services. Right, another thing that I'm hearing that is happening is things like farms. So things like farms are being destroyed. Things like people's farms and agricultural activities are being they're destroying farms.
Oh,
So
yes.
things like the movement and the production of food within the country has also been affected as well. The things that economically it's already hard. You're making it harder if food is scarce. Prices
Mhm.
are going to go up. People can't even move. The implications are long. Like we can discuss from now till I don't even
Yeah,
know, like next Friday if we sit down here. And
I think
honestly,
we should stay with something else. This is becoming very sad.
No. But
with
this is how Nigerians are. Because yesterday or day before yesterday, Peter Obi was tweeting something serious on Twitter. I can't remember what he was talking about. And I went to the quote. Something just said I should go to the quotes. If you see what Nigerians are telling, Nigerians said that I should wait. That there's something else that is going on Twitter. In fact, a nuclear bomb has dropped on Twitter. I should wait. And I was like, is this in reference to Maki and Ezra? Heck yes. Nigerians are telling Peter Obi that whatever he's talking about is not important enough for them to stop talking about Maki,
yeah,
Ozzy, Uloma, Kiki, and Ezra. That he should
Let's
wait.
talk about those guys. What
And I
the heck
burst
is
into
going on,
laughter.
Vanessa? What? Who are these people first? First,
give us a
some of these
summary,
names.
a breakdown of it.
I know, Vanessa, you are our resident Twitter
You
expert.
people want to turn me to resident army, but I'm rejecting that title. I'm only but a
Just take
journalist.
it
I
with
just
pride.
like to have no. I'm only but a journalist. I like to have complete and full information. I don't like half information, and that is why I
Good,
know all of this information. So
good,
just
good.
a quick disclaimer because I
Mm.
don't like the narrative that I'm hearing these days.
It,
But um
it's
I don't
fine.
even know. I don't even know that I have the full story because I won't. I will be honest and say that at some point I mentally
You logged
just stepped
out.
aside, logged
Checked
out
out,
because
yeah.
it was
It
becoming
was
too
getting too
much.
much.
It started off as I want to take, I want to expose my eggs, and
Mm.
at first I was like, you know what, goes along. That's your prerogative, right? Expose
Right,
your
yeah.
eggs, do what you need to do, say what you need to say. You know, if it's to make you sleep better at night, kudos, go off. But things took a very dark, nasty turn at some point. So backstory, there's some lady on Instagram, on Twitter rather, sorry, all of this happened on Twitter. Her name is Amaka Maki Max. These are just the variants of names that I've seen people call her over the last week. But I think her actual name is Amaka, and she goes by her Twitter handle is Maki Spoke, but she also goes by Max. So she says she was in a relationship with. I'm trying to be very correct. Before they will come and sue us for saying that is not right. But he says that she was in a relationship with Ezra
Struggle.
Olubi, who happens to be the CTO and co-founder of um, Paystack. Paystack is it's a Stripe-owned Nigerian company. Ezra and his partner or his co-founder, they built Paystack, and then eventually, I think in 2020, sold Paystack to Stripe. But they maintained their position as CEO, co-founder, and CTO, co-founder of Paystack. So he's basically, he's a tech bro. He's one of the organs at, I think, Paystack is classified as one of Nigeria's unicorns, right? So I think everybody knows Ezra, and Ezra is popular on Twitter for, calling himself unbelievably liquid. So a lot of people call him the guy who is unbelievably liquid. He
Odogu
has a shit ton
liquidity.
of money. Or double
Okay.
liquidity, the actual money now water people. And she claims that through the course of her, I think they did it for less than a year, maybe 8-9 months. She noticed a few things about Ezra. She alleged, or she's saying that Ezra sleeps with his subordinates. Ezra is a misogynist. She also just talked about how he's not nice to like his people that work in his home, speaks to them rudely. So all of these are just, again, allegations, right? She makes a very big tweet and says, this tweet is about who you think I'm talking about, right? And so people start like spinning and being like, okay, it's Ezra, right? Some people thought it was Ozzy told me because she had a previous like scuffle with Ozzy told me, yeah. But anyways, it was Ezra, and she then says, you know what, I'm going to do a tell all or something like that, and she comes on Twitter Spaces and does this like 31 minute rant about her experience with Ezra, how things changed when she finally had sex with him, how he spoke to her partner with much more respect than he spoke to her, the situation of him sleeping with his subordinate and what the subordinate told her. She also alleged that Ezra framed her at Murtala Mohammed International Airport when she was leaving the country. She had come to Nigeria to apologize to him or something like that. And she claims that she was stopped for a secondary search. And she's alleging that Ezra put that whole thing together. Right. So there's just a lot of accusations, going on and all of that.
Mhm.
To be honest, I wouldn't say that the reception initially was like, oh, where's Ezra's head or whatever. We were just like, this is a lot of conjecture. We don't have enough hard evidence to be like, oh, Ezra did this. Where do we go? But this is where things changed. People now went digging in Ezra's tweets.
Hmm.
And in digging in Ezra's tweets,
Ooh
they
la la.
found out that
Found some
he has some
disturbing
very
stuff.
perverted, yes, some very, 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 very disturbing tweets that he had. A lot of things. I don't even want to repeat them on here because for anybody to write those kind of things, I don't care whether 2012, 2013, 2010, 2009,
Your mind is not
2008,
okay.
your mind is you're not all right. Like you're sick. Just random stuff about underage girls, stuff about his own sister,
Stuff
stuff about
about his
recording
friends.
stuff about his friends, recording his female
His
friends in
cats.
his bathroom, he's blowing his cat's anus, just very, very, very sick things. And I think that was when this thing started to take a very, for me, it went from somebody who had an experience with
A
somebody
scorned
that
ex.
maybe they did not like. And I hesitate to call her a scorned ex because scorned ex kind of casts some discredits to her story. She might have experienced what she experienced, right? So, but sweet, then it's like, okay, there's something here. This person's not okay. Maybe we should look into it. And people start looking into it, and conversations are building. People are having conversations, and he deactivates his account on Twitter. So different conversations start spurring where his feminist friends, because she also alleged that he hides behind the cloak of Twitter feminists, particular group of Twitter feminists, so that he doesn't get attacked. And they were looking for those friends to come and speak out and say their truth. And it's just been going on for days and days and days and days. Another place where it takes a very dark twist is when she starts putting screenshots of private conversations with certain individuals, right? And in the process of doing that, exposing people, I believe, that have not publicly admitted to be certain things, exposing them to a lot of vitriol. She claimed that one Twitter account called Akim Kim was Ezra's burner account. People dug deep and found out that it wasn't Ezra's account, but that boy had chopped a lot of vitriol. Again, I don't know if it's his account or not, but if it's not his account, especially because she used ChatGPT to confirm that it was his account. Go figure.
Oh my God. Do
Right?
people not know that there's
Exactly.
misinformation on ChatGPT? Come on.
And you use ChatGPT to confirm your bias. What you feed it is going to give you most likely what you're looking for. Anyways, that boy was exposed to so much vitriol, Then she posts her tweets or her chat with Ozzy Tommy. I think there's a place where Ozzy Tommy says that she also cheated on her husband. Ozzy's husband cheated on her, and then Ozzy cheated back on her husband. I don't know if that's public information. Do you understand what I mean? Like, just a lot of things. Ozzy has a child. I don't know that that's something that she wants to be out there. She also talks about, how unhinged it is that Ezra wanted his subordinate, a lady called Fatima, to teach her how to take mirror selfies, and she had already alleged that he's his subordinate. So you're exposing that Fatima by putting her name there. People are now going to think that that's it just became, you understand what I mean? It became too much. Then she came back on another live or another space and talked about her sister. I said her sister was married to a pedophile. And I'm like, I don't know if this is your place to say that because this is your sister's life. Just, and I was like, yeah, I don't know that I want anything to do with this thing because
My own is
it's twisted, it's dark.
People, the convo that really intrigued me, which is weird for me, is like people were like, "Oh, are they friends?" Her and Ozzy. That's the part me. I like. What is friendship on Twitter these days? Like, what is a Twitter friend? To me, when I saw those chats, I was like, "These people are friends." But I'm now starting to think that there exists a world in Twitter where you can be messaging somebody, replying to their messages, but you people are not actually friends. Because to me, like doing that to someone who you call a friend, I mean, they've had their spats in the past, but like that is wild. And the stuff they were talking about was like
it's a
their
social
personal
media
relationship.
Shaman. It's a social media relationship, right? It's almost parasocial, if we can call it that, right? You see somebody that tweets maybe things that you agree with or ideologies that you lean into, and you basically just communicate with them, if that makes sense. Do you understand? Or, oh, yeah, I saw this thing that you tweeted. I think is this, or you people both share mutual dislike for somebody and that person has tweeted something. So you send it to
gossip
that
the
person.
person.
Yeah, you gossip the person. I don't necessarily think that equates to a friendship. You are
No, but they were
cordial.
talking about like her relationship, like both their relationships, like, hey, look where I'm at. I'm about to divorce my husband. I'm cheating. They were sharing like personal information about each other. Don't worry, you're all good. Look, I think that Max might have been hitting on the Aussie, but whatever. That's my
Yeah,
view.
there are allegations of that or there are hints of that. But I think that some people are just freer with information, right? So
Yeah,
if they feel like
maybe, but
you
like,
guys are see each other, right? Even
Yeah.
without a friendship, they would give out time. I don't know, but that's what I've noticed. Go ahead.
I have a question. So this Maki person, because I've been wondering about this for a while, and just for the people listening, I'm not on Twitter. I tried Twitter, it didn't work for me, and I left. I think I created another Twitter, and I think I closed it down out of rage or something because I can't find it. I think I closed it down because I had the idea too. So I'm asking this Maki person, is it the same person he was in some sort of poly relationship with? Because I knew
yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
that's the
that the person?
person.
Gotcha. Okay, because I've been wondering. Okay,
We forgot the
understood. And
money aspect of their relationship. How
yeah,
she's
and
Oh my God, yes.
she's been on this
Yeah.
thing for a while where she's just been going off on people and just before this
Yes.
Ezra Aussie thing happened. I know from what I've seen, she's kind of just been doing this whole I'm going to say everything on my mind for like weeks now, right? So this is
kind
not
of basically.
yeah, okay, understood. The reason why I'm asking is I'm just curious what is triggering this? Like
No, here's why the
what
friendship thing
is
to me is like, I don't know if she's still friends with all those people. I assume she's not. But it's just to me, it's kind of like if I've been friends with somebody, I would not want to, like, even if we've personally had our falling out recently, I don't think I would want to burn their lives to the ground to chase them away from the social village square, like that kind of thing, try and paint them as a bad person. Sure, we've had our problems in the past. Well, except if that person is really out to get me. But I don't think
yeah.
that's what's the case here. Like to be like, oh, Ozzy, we were friends or mutual friends, whatever we were. But now I'm going to show you you are a liar. Look at all the things you said about your husband. Look at everything. And I'm just going to burn this whole thing to the ground. That to me is like really, really crazy behavior. Maybe not crazy, but like, I don't know if that's good behavior. Because she's basically nuked that friendship. She's nuked any relationship she's had with our ex at this point. I guess he also he said the severance email. He sent a severance email to her to say, oh, I'm no longer doing no more communication. So maybe she
Sorry, who
felt
is the
But
the,
ex?
keeping a buck,
Ezra.
Ezra.
yeah, which
But
is
keeping it a
probably
buck,
fine. Like that happens in relationships, but you don't need to
but if I
like,
keeping it a buck from her spats with Ozzy, I think in October, I believe that Ozzy and her's relationship was already nuked. I don't
yeah,
think there
that's
was a
what I'm saying.
coming
It
back
was
from that.
probably over, but even that too was her really going on the offensive. More, I mean, maybe Ezra, like
She
maybe,
she she overreacted definitely to whatever
yeah,
Ozzy
maybe
did.
Ozzy might
No,
have triggered her a bit, but probably not enough to be like,
no, she already said in one of her things or spaces that she did come back because she had been away from Twitter. She said that she came back to Twitter to take him down. She has said that. So we don't have to think whether that's something. I think Ozzy was just a
hey,
side
as a
meat
side quest.
in terms of maybe
A
you're
casualty.
yeah, kind of say, okay, you have some relationship with Ezra, so if you cross me anyhow right now, I'm just going to go the vim I have for Ezra, I'm just going to everybody. And I think that's what she has been doing, right? Because even when she was fighting with Ozzy, she did say, oh, we're not cool enough for you to, do you understand? Or either we're not cool enough or we're not friends enough for you to do that. So she was the one that started off on this whole, are we friends like that versus friends like that situation? And Ozzy was like, hey, listen, we're actually not. Do you understand? Like, actually, let's really dip
Get
that
it.
shit. We're not we're not friends like that. Yes, we're cool on. And to be honest, I kind of understand it. I mean, I'm not sharing overly personal information with people on Twitter, but there are a few people where our relationship does not transcend Twitter. Like I speak to them mainly on Twitter. I've never met them in my life, and maybe if we're
But you
talking
would
about
still
something or
consider
whatever.
them Twitter friends at least, which is
Yeah,
some sort of friends.
Twitter friends. Yeah. So yeah, but again, as I said, like it's if we're bringing it to real life, and I think it's a bit difficult because of the way
The
the world
lines
has
between real
changed
life
now.
and
Yeah, real
Mm.
life and online, right? Like
my God, the
I don't
generation
know.
we live in.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for me with in terms of the fallout with Ezra, right? Well, I mean, it exposed some issues that need to be addressed because Paystack now they've removed him from as CTO. They've suspended him rather. Let me use the proper word that they use. He's been suspended as CTO, and um, that's they're investigating that. So I was just going to add that with the Ezra thing, so that's exposed a certain character thing. So and it's led to investigations which could possibly, these are all allegations by the way, which could possibly reveal abuse of power because as I was saying, somebody with that character and tweeting those things even before he became wealthy and successful. Imagine what he's doing now that he has, that kind of wealth and success, right? So I think in some ways you can say there's an advantage there, allegedly. We don't know, we don't want
Mhm.
to say, oh, we know for a fact, but based on what we're seeing. But in terms of just the whole social media relationship, Misha, my own opinion has always been that people solely off social media, I want to say solely, like nothing outside of social media, you don't call, you don't check up, you haven't met in person, you don't know, you're not sharing, there is no give and take. It's just very, it's
It's
difficult to
not
say
a
that
real
person
friendship.
Friend,
yeah, like you have to be
thank
careful.
you. It's
And my
very
I think I take the
difficult to use
opposite
that
view on
word.
this one.
and my
Like, look at
concern,
us.
right?
We're like living examples of
No,
social
no, no.
media
We're
friends.
different. We've transcended from social media friends
Yeah,
to
Fair enough. Okay,
actual
that's
friends.
fair.
Like we're now
yeah.
involved in each other's lives.
Met
Like,
in person, you know
we've met
things
in
about the
person. I
other
know your wife.
person.
I know
Okay,
your
so
kid. I know already. Like
is
that
it where like
transcends.
you start like, okay, commingling the real life and the social media life? That's where it's like, okay, we're no longer on a social media thing now. We're now like on
Mm.
okay, that's a fair take, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
And then
yeah. Because
my
I think
my
that you have to know somebody a little bit more offline. Do you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? To
Mhm.
be able to be like, that's my, because the word friend,
If you
look at
guys,
how people's friends are being, look at how Ezra's friends are being flamed, right?
Mhm,
For his behavior. Do you
mhm,
understand? So now think about somebody that you only talk to on social media, and it's usually maybe about a topic or something that you guys share as a commonality, as we can see from as Maki and Ozzy's thread. It's not as if they're talking about, oh, somebody is sick and we want to know. They were just talking about things that they shared as women that were commonalities in their life, right? If somebody that you do that with on Twitter is getting flamed, right? And people are now reaching out to you being like, oh, defend the person's character. Can you in good conscience defend that person's character?
Those screenshots she posted, were they Twitter DMs?
They were Twitter DMs, yeah.
Oh,
and a lot
they were
of they
sharing all
went.
that on Twitter.
She
Yes,
shared
yes,
like
yes.
chat history going back almost 5 years or
Yeah,
more.
but you can also see why, right? So Maki,
Already shocked.
from the context of the chats, right? Maki was trying to do something that Ozzy had done, right? That dilemma of, do I marry somebody that I'm not completely in love with and just have a child and divorce? And
Mm.
Ozzy was in that period of her life. Do you get what I mean? So
Mm.
I see why the context of the conversation seems very intimate and personal, but I
It
also see
did
why she
to
was able
me.
to, yeah, but I also see why she was able to open up to the person,
Hmm.
if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I guess you can
yeah,
open up to
I think,
someone and the person's not really your friend. That part is true.
Yeah,
yeah.
because it either helps the person, like either as a form of advice to like navigate a situation, or
Mhm.
helps them overcome an obstacle or a hurdle. But because she shared that, I'm sure there are more private things about Ozzy's life that if we ask Maki, she can't have the answers.
Mm.
Yeah.
She
And
can't.
I think because I feel like I'm not saying that you can't form friendships on social media. I think it needs to go much further, right? Because the truth is, even friends in real life can betray you. But I think there is just something about social media. I mean, come on, all three of us here, we know how thinking somebody you met online, especially for our generation, millennials, may be different for Gen Z. But millennials, I think we have this tendency to not take people we meet or where social media is almost the basis of the foundation seriously.
Mhm. Yeah,
I think
that is true.
millennials were a bit we're kind of like that in that sense. We disconnect social media and our real lives. Or let me say millennial Nigerians. Let me be more specific because I don't know about other groups of people. But from what I've seen, what I know, I find that Nigerians disconnect social media relationships and their real life relationships, right? I think if you cannot take that offline, when I mean take that offline, can you meet in person? Can you like talk on the phone, share conversations? Are you doing other things together outside of social media? I think that there is that tendency to disconnect the two. And we've seen in this room how we know we have examples of how people we've met on social media have thought of the relationship as just a passing distraction. Oh, just those people who are kind of
Mm.
virtual people, probably like Sims in
They
some
are
faraway
virtual.
land. I don't, we're not close, but I mean, they're entertaining. So I
They're
entertain them
entertaining
and
me
then they move.
while I'm at work.
Yeah. And then they move on when their real life starts to take shape or whatever it is, like there is no longer that distraction. So we've seen that happen, which really, really taught me a lesson that, to be fair, me on social media, I'm very weird. I'm not like, I don't share anyways. But I think it really taught me a lesson of how sometimes people can really just not take social media friendships, and I put that in quote, as their real thing because they separate social media and real
Maybe
life. I'm
that's
rambling
also
now, but
why
that,
they easily are able to nuke those relationships, don't care about those people, like whether or not they're hot or not. And it's like these people are Sims in another faraway land. Like, okay, do I know this person? This person is just an IR, it's just like a .com or something. It's a code in my software that I use to entertain myself. I don't really care about this person. It's like so if it's all a game, I might as well just like if I'm playing the game, you're playing the game. Hey, you lost. Maybe that's also part of it in our views. Like, who's this? Who's this Aussie? Who are these people? These people are just people
mm,
I I, I entertain myself with on Twitter. My real life is my real life. These people I don't care about
mm.
them, which is like a shitty way to view life. So maybe Gen Z is right. Online people are real people.
I don't want to sound like a, a boomer or Gen X, right? Because I know when it comes to like work from home, they always say, oh, but it's always good to connect in person. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that, but I'm saying that I think there are things you see in person that you don't necessarily see online,
That is
right?
true.
So when you spend enough time with people in person, you tend to see certain things which you can make. I think when you meet people online, you can then combine the online persona versus the real person. So you don't have to be seeing them every day, but you can meet people in person, get to know them and all of that. It's up to you to decide. I think that um in this situation here, or even just take it offline as well, right? Phone call, Zoom, whatever, just FaceTime, whatever it is people prefer. Because even just facial expressions can show you things about somebody. But DMs, I don't know, I feel
I was
like
going to say exactly because you might be pouring your heart out to me in the DM or whatever, but I'm laughing at you. But you can't see me.
mm,
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly.
no.
It's true.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
It's true.
So it's
But yeah, I think, and you make a very good point. Already, particularly about I think the person that we both know that we've had that experience with or whatever. Do you understand? And if you ask me if that person is my friend now, I can't say yes. I
we're
really
not friends.
can't. We're not friends
We're an
because you
acquaintance.
don't treat thank you. You're an acquaintance because you don't treat friends the way that person treated. You understand what I mean? So
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
so
Like
like
some
this.
of like because we don't see these people as I don't want to say we don't see them as real people. We see them as something that is just on the internet.
A virtual presence,
A
that
virtual
I
presence that we're
go back and
that
forth
we're
with
just
once in
engaging with from time to time. So it's like
banter.
I don't know. I don't like that kind of behavior. I think, yeah, that's why like people have all these personas on social media because they are trying to bifurcate their real lives from it. It's like I'm a
Yeah.
fool on it on social media,
Exactly.
but in my real life,
Mm,
I'm kind of like this. And maybe all
mm,
of us we have different fronts of ourselves to show to different people, but like
mm.
and maybe social media also it essentially like you get the benefit from being outlandish and being like putting on a different persona. So maybe some of this is this. Anyways, all of this is just nasty business. This whole like
Yeah, the
Aussie.
thing was just nasty. Yeah, there was not like I think it really took a dark twisted, turn. People are deactivating their accounts. Also, have deactivated accounts. Some feminists be damn so boab so she have
And
deactivated
it's
her
crazy
account.
because these
That
people
one they found
have
out that her
businesses
husband tweeted.
online.
Yeah, I mean, your business would thrive.
You
Your
keep your
your
business
business pays
online.
would thrive without you. So
Mm.
I mean,
They said
hey,
her
but
husband
yeah,
found out what?
oh, the dummy babe, they went through her husband's tweets and found out that he had said something about rape, in like 2010 too or something. It just spiraled.
Let me ask you
Can I
guys
ask
a
a
question. Do you think
question?
people
Can I
can
ask a question?
change? Do you think people can change? So like if someone tweeted something, I'm pretty sure there's nothing in my 0809. I really want someone to dig it up and see what I tweeted there.
You
But I'm
can dig
pretty
it
sure
up.
there's
You can
nothing
dig it
there.
up yourself. Literally
I
go to
know
your
I don't
search
have
bar
time
of your
to.
this thing
I
and
think I
just
did, but there was
no,
nothing.
no,
I'm
it's
pretty
not.
sure
It's
there's
not a hard thing. If you go to your profile, there's
just
usually a
scroll down.
search. No, no, don't scroll down. There's usually a circle search bar. You can search your own, like with a keyword. If you're thinking
Oh
that you've tweeted something about rape, just put rape. It will search up
no,
rape Shemon, like whatever your Twitter handle is. No, I'm serious.
no,
People
I
are
know,
Are
doing
I
it
you
know.
now
serious
because
I'll
though?
go and do
I
it, but I'm
just
pretty sure. I think this thing has made everyone go back to go and you see people tweeting, sorry, this is
definitely.
not what I meant. Oh, this is the context.
so so
But
so
like,
me, I have
Even
like
with
for people that were
Adomi,
tweeting really crazy stuff back then, because then social
mm.
media was kind of wild. If you think about like the sub delivery man era, all those type of like Twitter in the early days was like the wild wild west.
So
And
I
it's
have
like,
like
were those your real things or things you were just saying, or have you evolved? Like that's I don't even know how to approach those people. Sorry, already. You
no,
wanted to
no,
say
fine. I
something.
was not interrupting you. So three things. First, I thought people at Ezra's level had their social media like I thought they had
scrubbed.
like PR and whatever. I thought
It
they
should
did that. I
have
was
like that was
surprised.
The
kind of
moment
a
he became
that was a bad
unbelievably
move.
liquid,
Especially
his
with the
social media
strike,
should have been
like
scrubbed. Yes,
yeah,
he
I'm
should have paid
surprised.
somebody to scrub
People
his
people who
NS.
have way less money do
But
that. Way
we're
less.
thankful that he didn't because now we know the kind of where you are. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's also it's happened a few times to people who are like public facing. So there was this really funny story on Zikoko. I go on Zikoko on Instagram a lot. Like it's one of my favorite places on the internet right now. And somebody was telling Zikoko a story about how his online persona, Twitter, caused issues for him in his real life. So he created Twitter, just quick summary, he created Twitter in during the pandemic, as a lot of people did. They were bored, got like understood how it worked. Then he started tweeting wild things and realized that, oh, like people like what you said earlier about Nigerians responding to people that just make a fool of themselves online or do rubbish online. And for some reason that takes us. So he started just being a troll, right? Just having wild takes, going after people. And I think something happened, or he was trying to get into the entertainment space in real life in Nigeria, and he was reaching out to people, and then somebody connected him to somebody who was like, "Oh, I know you. I'm not going to help you." And he told him, "I said your persona online is too toxic," and apparently he had dragged that person because of some discussion, and he called him an idiot or a fool or something. And the guy said, "I can't help you," and he blocked him from opportunities. Meanwhile, the guy was saying that, oh, he was just doing those things so that he can become popular, build a following, build a follower, if a large followership or whatever, and leverage that to pivot into his entertainment thing. And I've heard some people say that, like, oh, sometimes it's not the real person. But me, Shao, if I see some things that are very strange on your social media and you're saying you're doing it to build a following, I can't take you seriously. Because either way, what you're doing is promoting some kind of toxicity. That's one person. The second person is this Kayla babe, Travis Kelsey's ex babe, the black babe that he dated before that. There's always one controversy between her and Taylor Swift's fan. Something happened where she did Man Enough Halloween. But Taylor Swift's fans went to her page, dug out her old posts. What did they not find there? Racism, colorism, homophobic language, all sorts
Is
of
the
things.
word
Like I was reading it. I'm like, girl, you've nailed your coffin. You've nailed it. So she appeared had to come back and apologize, like, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that or whatever. I can't remember whatever a
I've
few years
changed.
ago. I've changed. So that's that was
That's what I'm saying. That last part, do people actually change or that's who they are?
I was going to answer
Is it
that.
like, oh, I was young, I was doing stupid shit? What is it really?
I think that people can change, but I think if you're a human being, right? Maybe if the person was underage, because that assumes that they're still a child and your brain development is still forming. But if you're well not your 20s on the internet, very likely that you've changed so significantly, right? And then also, what I believe is that it actually takes a lot for a human being to change that fundamentally. Like what Ezra was tweeting is something to do with his brain, how he thinks. And that's one of the hardest things to change, in my opinion. It's very difficult to change the way you think. It takes continuous effort. And very few people are really willing to put in the work, especially now that he's rich as fuck, unbelievably liquid as he calls himself, right? So even if you say you've changed, it's going to take a
And
lot. Like,
what do you mean by you've? Because Ezra is 39.
Pushing
If you
40.
take this,
So he's what, like 25 when those things happened?
it sounds like he was in his 20s when that happened.
yes, he was well into his 20s when those things happened, right? He was 29. Oh, sorry, he's 30. Ezra is 39 right now, right? He turns 40 next year. If we go back into the streets, he was well into his 20s, right? When all of that
I
happened.
was no
And
kid.
yeah, he was not a child. And my question is, between then and now, what has really changed?
Money.
Did you seek help? Outside of money, like anybody can make money. So like, that's not, I mean, like, did you seek help? Because why did you have those thoughts? What were the reasons for those thoughts? Were you maybe abused as a child? Is there a reason why you had a fetish for your animal and blowing air up? Like, do you understand? Like, we need to understand
Honestly, the
what's the
animal
why.
one, I don't care
Yes,
about that much. But
I
the
care
other,
about it because it's still abuse. It's still abuse.
Shema,
yeah, yeah.
please
Like,
care.
So we're like
Please
the
care.
no,
it's
like
zoophilia.
I
It's
think
very,
I
very
think the
bizarre.
animal one is like grotesque, obviously. Like, okay, actually, let me not do this ranking of all the nonsense he's doing. But like the
Yeah,
other stuff,
let's not get into that.
yeah,
Let's
let's
not
not
even rank
rank
it.
it. It's probably a
I
bad
just
idea.
don't know if he has sought like medical help, or proper help or whatever. And he might just be disguising. You understand what I mean?
Now,
Like you said, he now has money and power, which even makes it worse because you
Makes
can
it worse.
excuse yourself, right? From a lot of things. You can coerce people not to say things because you're a man in Nigeria that
yeah,
has
rich
money.
man in Nigeria.
You're a man in Nigeria, you have money, you also have access or proximity to power
Yeah.
by money, by relationship, just by the fact of what you do, right? It's easier to hide and shield all of these things. So we'll keep following it, this Ezra. And
Will we? I don't know.
I mean,
well,
no, because
when I say we'll keep following it, is I mean more so like people will keep talking about it. Machi
Sure,
will still
sure.
say something.
Oh
Do you
God.
understand?
Can
So
she?
it's going to be, it's definitely
One thing
going to keep
about her, I
going
don't know
on
if she knows when
for a
to
while.
stop.
She
Like,
doesn't.
she really was on the up. If she had stopped with the old Ezra when
Yeah,
Ezra's tweets
because
came out,
when the tweets came out, it already nuked him. She didn't need
hmm
to keep going,
she didn't need to
but
keep
she
going.
did.
She never
yeah,
know
She
when
and I
to
did.
think
stop.
with the Ezra thing about whether he's changed, like one of my favorite quotes ever since I heard it when I was, I don't know, 14 or 15. Montesquieu, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. I just think in Nigeria, kind of money and access, it's more likely that he hasn't changed, right? And I think, like you said, if she had stopped when with that, it would have helped her case because I think some people may now use the continuing of putting other people's matter out there, like, oh, she's just vindictive.
Oh, people have already said it. I
To
saw it.
trivialize, what she said about Ezra, right? So I think it then, especially with what I've seen in terms of Nigerian Twitter around this sort of discussions, it will now trivialize what she said. So I just need to say that we're legally trained or have legal enough knowledge to know that, like, if there is no conclusive proof about the allegations that she's making, in addition to like her continuing to expose other people, they may just see it as vindictive person who maybe it's just trying
Exactly.
to bring him down, as opposed to they can use it anyways. Yeah, so that's really what I was just saying. But I mean, let's just move on to more joyful, more interesting things, more.
Vanessa, do you have news for us? You,
Do you have
I
any
already
news
said it.
for
I
I
us?
had
already said it at the
something.
beginning.
I had
I already
something
said it at the
earlier that I want to
I
hear
already said
about
it
a
at the
bit more.
beginning.
Like,
Yes,
I don't know already.
I moved back to Nigeria. Specifically, I moved to Abuja. There's
Nice.
nothing grand about it.
Why? What
Um,
prompted this?
I just needed a break.
japada, should we say?
I just needed a break. And I think everybody asked me that, expecting me to give them some grand. People have said, oh, did I come back to get married? No. Did I? It's nothing grand. I just needed a break.
Yeah.
Chicken out. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. And it sounds weird to people when I say I need a break or whatever, but I just wanted to be at home. I just felt like it was time to do it. My dad had also been telling me to come back and do NYC, so I kind of I'm going to lump everything into one. To take that break. So I'm in Nigeria for the next year.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's hot. Ramadan is coming, but it's hot.
I mean, it's cold here.
As well, you can't really see those
I
of
can
you
see
that
the
listen to
block.
podcast,
Don't
but
worry.
you guys can see that I'm literally drinking. I freeze every
Would you
bottle of
take
water that I
that
drink.
over like the snow and the winter in
I will take it
Toronto?
over this now. I'm not even complaining.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. But yeah, I started the NYSC process. I was really hoping to get in with the November batch, but I had a little hiccup with
Nigeria.
First of all, registering for NYSC, not for the faint-hearted. I spent
We
like
need to
2
discuss
days.
NYC.
Yeah, that's and I'm hesitant to speak about it because I still know that there's a lot more to come in terms of like
A lot more struggle
my
ahead.
journey.
When
So
you, because that
when I
means we would have all.
fully exactly, I'll be able to give you guys like a real, download on NYSC, and
Yeah.
let me first finish all the registration. But I spent 2 days trying to get registered. And then I got the verification letter to go to the NYSC camp in Cooper. I drove myself to the camp. I got there, and then they told me that I needed to go and do evaluation of my degree, which was not on their website. And again, we'll get into it when I'm talking about NYSC. It's one of my things with the guy. And anyways, I came back to Abuja. Well, it's in Abuja. NYSC campus in Cooper. So it was just traffic in the morning that made me drive that long. But I went to Ministry of Education. It took me a week to be able to get not to get all the documents, but to actually get somebody to sign like an intake form of my documents that they need to evaluate. So in my case, they're evaluating both my high school and
Who is
my
doing this evaluation?
Vanessa, I was
Ministry
going
of
to ask quick
Education.
question.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Did you need to pay? Did you need to pay for it?
Yes, 5,000 naira per page that you're going to evaluate.
Per page.
They've added another one. No, because I did not have to do this when I did NYC. Or maybe I forgot. I need to confirm. I don't remember having to do it. So that means they've added another one for somebody to.
No, not necessarily. So some people don't have to do it, right? Depends on where you went to school. So typically, if you went to school in the US, UK, Canada, you don't have to do it because chances are somebody would have done your program. But the program that I took in my university was a very new program, right? And I was the only Nigerian. I think I was the second set of people to do that program, and I'm the only Nigerian that's ever done this. I don't think any Nigerian has done NYSC with that degree. So the ministry needs to evaluate that particular degree.
It's so interesting. I wonder what evaluation they are trying. It's not just looking at.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure that's up to Nigeria standards, which is fair. You know what I mean? Because
I think
another thing,
you have been a bit too fair to this, but I don't think they're evaluating shit. I think they're just looking at some papers and being like, well, okay, this looks good.
I don't know what the process is, so I can't even speak on it. But another thing that I had a little issue with is, you know how they have a penchant for like middle names here. My university degree does not have my middle name. It's just my first name or my last name. Right? So they were trying to haggle me a bit about it.
Because you didn't have a middle name?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm the same fucking person, man. I ain't changed. It's still me. Put the first name, whatever. It's still, anyways. But that's
so when
that
are you
kind of
starting now?
It's looking like January because the next batch they go in on the 19th, and Friday was the deadline to bring the evaluation letter. The evaluation letter takes 2 weeks. It'll be January, and they have such a backlog. So the
joys of living in Nigeria.
So it's gonna be January. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Yeah, and then what else has been happening?
Yes, that journey.
Oh, brother, it is well. Nothing much. Whatever. I continue my French classes.
Français.
I've been seeing you on Instagram. It seems like you're living a good life. That's all I can say. You and Femena, you are like just turning Abuja up. Like I've been seeing you having a good time. Really. I don't know what you're on about.
I mean,
I'm not saying that I'm not having a good time. Don't. Yeah, go ahead already.
I was just gonna say that, like, I don't know, it's a very interesting moving back to Nigeria because there are a few people I've seen either maybe just online who
Mm-hmm.
have japa japada, is that the term? Japada,
Uh-huh,
Mm-hmm.
right?
uh-huh. Yeah.
Who have gone back, moved back to Nigeria either temporarily, for
Mm-hmm.
a few years or permanently. A lot of them really have said that they moved back just because of that, wanting to take a break, being with family, wanting like a certain type of comfort that they don't necessarily have abroad. And the reason why I find that interesting is just because like a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora are actually quite tired, but then they're also scared to move back as well for various
Yeah.
reasons. So I don't know.
One thing
I
I'll
find
say,
it such an interesting
recently,
discussion.
I have been thinking and talking about moving back to Nigeria more than I ever have in the last 2 years. I'm serious. Like I've been like
Ow.
talking about. I think I even told Tayo that, producer Tayo that, she should keep me in mind when she's looking for apartments or houses in Nigeria. So I'm already at that stage where I'm like, maybe I'm thinking about it more than I've ever thought about it. So much so that when I next time I'm in Nigeria, I want to see, that would be part of the things I have at the back of my mind is, can I actually do
Mm.
this? How would it work if I wanted to do it? So, and it's what you've said already. It's like I'm low-key tired socially. And it's also like I do still feel very Nigerian in a way where I feel comfortable that I can live in Nigeria. Right. I have the option of being able to do this. And that's one of the main reasons why I can't even think about this. But
That's the cocoa.
if
Uh-huh.
economically I couldn't, honestly, I probably would not. I think the main reason why people are here is Nigeria sucks economically for most of us.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so if things were good,
So
I think fewer people will be living here. I think that's really
Oh,
what.
of course, of course, of course. And you've not even hit it. You've not hit the 10-year mark of being abroad now, Sherman.
No, I have not.
You see. Yeah. So when people are like, why what are you tired about or whatever? And I'm like, when you get to year 5, call me. When you get to year
Yeah,
10,
yeah.
let's have a conversation. Call me when you get to year 5. When you get to year 10, let's have a conversation. And I'll see if you yourself you're not tired.
yeah. And
No,
I
it's
think
just,
like
it
if
is what it
you
is. But like, so I've been talking about it a lot with like my friends and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. Because I think the thing is, Nigeria, I always say Nigeria is enjoyed in small doses, best enjoyed in small doses. I think you can go to Nigeria and you just be like, yeah, this is the reason why I'm not in this stupid place.
You need to have either like a return date, or need to have a structure and plan of how you go in and out to
Yeah.
maintain
yeah.
that. That's what it is. I don't think that anybody does. I'm not saying I don't think that, but for a lot
Uh,
of people, especially if you don't have like a business that's like really keeping you grounded in Nigeria. So if you're working like your international job, right, you need to have a system where maybe you're going back and forth. I don't know what that would look like. For some people, it's every
Mhm.
3 months or whatever. Or you have a thing where you're like, it's just for 1 year or a year and a half,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to go back. I mean,
Mhm.
you can do, again, some of these flexibilities come when you're single and don't have a wife
Yeah.
or a
I think
family
if I
and
was
kids for your
single,
reason.
I'd be in
Yeah, but
Nigeria more often.
exactly. But it's definitely something that I'm seeing a lot. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that are coming back either because they're burnt out or you know, they just miss being in Nigeria. So some people are here for like 3 months, they're here for 4 months, and
I mean,
it's becoming
honestly,
more mainstream.
let's keep it a buck also. It's also like a lot of the things that in the abroad like a lot of the communal life that we enjoy in Nigeria, you have to pay for in the abroad. And it's
oh
like,
yeah.
Mm,
why do you want to do that? Sometimes it's also a money thing. It's like, oh, in Nigeria I have this, like, my family's here, like if they can help out with the kids, that's gonna be great. Whereas like, yeah, your family's not here, you have to find a nanny, you have to do that one. So it's also like that. So for some people it's also like, oh, they want their kids to grow up, with other Nigerians and stuff like that. So it's a lot of factors. And for other people, I saw a tweet about this guy who was complaining about, like, he's in the London and he's finding like a caretaker to help him clean the house is too expensive. So for some people, it's actually
Yeah.
like, cost of living is way cheaper in Nigeria, and I don't want to say they can exploit that cost of living the low labor wage in Nigeria to their advantage. For some people, it's also that. So it's a myriad of factors for a lot of people. A friend who moved from Nigeria here, like in Nigeria, they had like 2 nannies just on this cost of living thing. They cannot even try that in California. They will bankrupt.
California. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's probably even worse
So
about that.
it's a whole thing. Anyways, Vanessa, I wish you all the best. No, we'll hopefully see you very soon. I will compare
No
about
dramatic
Nigeria is
stuff.
going. But so
Honestly,
far, I think
my
you're having
landing,
blast.
and I think it's mainly because my landing has been soft. Like I moved back to my father's house. That's like the big thing. I'm not paying any rent. I came back. I asked my daddy for a car. All of this I don't take for granted. They're all luxuries that make the transition, easier. That makes sense. So I'm grateful for them. If you're thinking of moving to Nigeria, think about it long and hard. If you don't have a soft landing of how you're going to do it, it'll be tough. The country is expensive. Especially if you're in Lagos. Abuja is also now softer because it's Abuja. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have crazy traffic. Maybe you have that 1 hour in a day where there's that rush hour traffic. But everything in Abuja is also within 30, 40 minutes of each other. Like, legit, you can say, I'm leaving my house now and I'll be there in 30 minutes. And you will be there in 30 minutes. Like, that's how Abuja is. Like, you can plan your life. And most things are in a cluster. You want your restaurants, your supermarkets, whatever. Wuse to Metama. It's literally one boundary. So it makes my life easy. I don't know that I would have this experience if I was in Lagos, for example. I think traffic alone would drive me crazy. So if you want to do it, think about it hard and fast. If you're moving in with your parents, also know the type of relationship you have with your parents.
Yeah.
As someone just heard, my mother just stood downstairs and shouted, "Do you understand?" And she's shouting my name and asking me to do this and do that, drive me here, help me do this. To be honest, to her credit, my parents are a bit chill. Pretty much, like once I come upstairs, they don't even come upstairs. I live upstairs. My parents live downstairs. That's literally our arrangement. So it's chill enough for me. Also bear in mind that Nigeria is not as safe as it used to be. So if you're coming back and you want to do a lot of late night waka, you either want to drive yourself. No, mopo. Apucha, you don't need mopo.
Don't mind me. I'm just checking.
You either wanna drive yourself
Just
or
be
have a
security
driver that you
conscious.
trust. Yeah, that would take you around and be security conscious as you move around as you would anywhere in the world. But yeah, not much. I'm enjoying the food.
Oh, the food. Oh gosh, I missed the food. I think someone mentioned Mopo because of that conversation we had like a few podcasts ago where people will go to Nigeria, they'll not go and get Mopo to be moving around the place, just abusing that thing. Crazy.
If you're up for it, I personally just think Mopo draws unnecessary attention.
I think it draws attention to you.
Yeah, so, but heck yes, I know if you're going to some places like, yes, but, just normal waka, I drive myself around the city and I feel fine. I feel safe, so. But yeah, Nigeria's been fun. I'll come back with the full NYC update when I finish the entire process.
Maybe
we can have an NYC episode.
Yeah,
because there's a lot.
episode. There's
a lot that I can say definitely about the NYC process as a foreign as a foreign Nigerian. Let me use that word.
No,
but yeah,
I think when you guys have been, you and Tyler have been there for a minute.
No, this is not IJGB.
Yeah,
far from IJGB. IJGB, no, they see this type.
Wait, I thought IJGBs were people who they moved. They are in Nigeria from abroad for whatever reason. Either they moved back permanently or they're visiting or whatever.
No, I just goes back. You are visiting. You can't be an IJGB and be going through what I went through with Ministry of Education. It's not possible. This is, I'm living in Nigeria. I'm living in Nigeria. I'm IJGB. IJGB is here for 2-3 weeks to turn up and get out. Yeah.
I used to think it was all encompassing. Like it was, I'm just visiting. I just moved back.
At least to me not.
Chat, I beg you guys settle that debate. I don't really know what it is.
Wow.
But I don't know. I feel like we should definitely do it because Tayo is going to a similar experience. We should definitely do a Tayo Vanessa.
Who cares about what Tayo is going through?
Oh my God.
Tayo is like the fourth presence we always talk about. But the listeners may be like, who is this Tayo person? One day you will see her. One day, I promise you.
We should
No, she's been on
definitely
the
do like
podcast
when
before.
you've done NYC, we'll do
Oh,
like a sit down, how it has been and everything, and have a full episode. Just break down all the love, laughter,
she'll be
tears,
our
and joy.
guest. Tayo has not been on our.
She's been on the
She's
episode on
been
the
on.
podcast
She's been
before.
on with us,
She's
right?
been on the podcast before. So
Yeah.
if you've
Hey, which
listened to
please
older
remind me.
episodes,
Hey, God,
I
I'm
don't remember. I think
embarrassed.
last year,
It was one where
I
all
think
four of us were on.
the
Yeah,
roundup from last year, I think she was on that episode.
she was. Yeah, she definitely
Yeah.
remember.
Yes.
But yeah, if you listen to it, you definitely know what Tayo sounds like. If you also follow me on social media,
You sit there.
Oh, they know Tayo. They know Tayo.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Anyways, I think we
Well,
can wrap it up at this point.
Yeah,
It's been a very great
it's been great.
conversation. It was nice seeing the gang again, the commoners. We'll come back with more episodes. Like we're now like more renewed. Sorry for the lull. We're gonna be back, and
Yeah.
inshallah, back bigger and better. What's that thing they say? Baby, keep shining, baby.
I thought you know what you said was
So
that thing they say. What came to my mind was your body now meets by. I don't know why. But anyways,
I don't know about you, but did that
already, do you know that song?
already
No,
does
I-
not know what's good.
but
You
I
don't know
don't know
Maho.
the
Oh
song.
my god, the reigning
Don't
guy in
worry,
Nigeria.
don't
You
worry.
don't know his thing. You don't know your body na
Don't
meat
worry,
pie.
don't worry.
Your body na reprised.
No.
There's also another. I'll send you the song. But there's also another
Please.
song by a Hausa boy where he talks about spending your money because she could eat.
Is that the Kakashi song?
Anyways.
Is that the one where it goes Kakashi?
Kakashi.
Kakashi is that Hausa? What does that mean?
Yes, Kakashi, like spend it.
Okay.
He's talking about money, right? He's talking about like spend your
Oh.
money because when you were crying and like suffering, nobody was sending you. So Kakashi,
Oh, that's what he's saying.
spend it.
Oh no,
I have
because
no
it sounds
idea.
like it sounds like some character from Naruto. That's why I was like Kakashi. What? But
Kakashi is a character in Naruto.
yeah, that's why I was like, wait,
Well,
is it?
I mean, it's also spend it apparently. You know, I thought the guy, the song has been
It's
trending.
not Kakashi. It's Kakashi.
Oh,
Kakashi. Okay. Yeah.
Kakashi.
Yeah. Okay.
Kakashi.
Got it.
Yeah, the word kashi, like
Kakashi.
how will I put it now? So in a phrase, right? Like you're talking about somebody spent a lot of money today. You will say in Hausa, you say, Yakashi Pudiyo, like he spent money today. Like, and when you say somebody Yakashi Pudiyo, it means like they spent money, like Odogu stuff, money in water levels. Yakashi Pudiyo, or you say Aurena Ankashi Pudi, like this wedding, they spent money on it. That's it.
I thought the guy was the
nice.
internet troll. I'm being honest. When I first saw the guy, I thought it was one of these people who just making, you know, like Paul Cleverly, all these like YK Mule type vibes. But then I actually like one day was like listening to. I said, let me check this guy up, and I started listening to his like songs. I was like, oh, this guy's actually talented, which is weird. It was like he has actual other songs that are not.
Yeah, he's an actual artist.
He's an actual artist. He's not like just a. He's not just a.
He's not a random.
He's not an online person. He's not a sim, essentially. He's an actual person. He's even signed to like Chocolate City and everything. I was like, oh, this guy actually has talent. He's actually pretty good. And it all makes sense when you think about it that he's on Chocolate City.
It makes sense now, yeah.
I love how every year Nigerians come up with a way to talk about spending a lot of money. First was Odogu, there was Odogu spender. Every year there's a way to talk about throwing tons of money and just living your best life.
It's our favorite pastime.
Even though we don't have money.
Even though we don't have money, yeah. But guys, we can be here chit-chatting and whatever. So hope everybody has a great week whenever you get this recording. And we're going to try and be consistent. So we will catch you guys on the next episode. Share, subscribe, share with your friends, subscribe, share with your grandma, your mommy, your daddy, your bestie, your ex.
Your ex.
And you can also follow us. No, they should share with their ex. So I don't care about your relationship.
But you follow us on Instagram at B3 Commoners.
And everywhere you get your podcast or whatever people say.
Not on Twitter.
The links will be in the links will be in the stuff, you know what I mean? And yeah, you follow us on Twitter. I have Twitter. I'm active on Twitter. So if you're active on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. And I do be retweeting some of these things that I be seeing. so we can be in on the journalist work together. It's not amicable. It's
The army
journalism.
ball work together.
It's journalism. Oh my God.
Okay.
Anyways,
All right.
guys, bye.
All right.
Have a
Catch
great
y'all
week.
later.
Toodles.
Bye.
Catch y'all.